My heart pumping all day long, getting me to morning when darkness comes. My heart, ooh. I'll bear it, it takes so long to mend. It's harder to lean on this shell of a man. You found love in the Lord, your family and your friends. Could you please pray for me that I can find the same within? My heart pumping all day long. When the evening comes, please stay strong. Give me the morning when darkness falls. My heart, I found victory in the Father's love from the day we wed, and those vows still hold true. Nothing's gonna tear me down until the day I'm dead. My heart belongs to you. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like a love, nothing like a love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. There's nothing like love, nothing like love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. And that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out. That's when you find out what you're made of. My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. We were younger when we first laid eyes. I was walking up in heaven's skies. How about you? Did you feel it too? I don't believe in love at first sight. Now you make me wanna change my mind. How about you? Oh, how about you? My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I say. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. Trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. I just wanna hold you, just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. world that's black and white. Wondering why things they did not turn out quite right. Please believe me, please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry, didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. Take it. Please believe me. Please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? Please believe me. Please don't leave me now. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. You look better in it anyway. You look better in it anyway. Just take it. Just take it. Watching you go through it. You're living, you're loving, you're laughing, you're playing, you're singing, you're dancing in the dark. You're dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Wind is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my own. Life, it isn't always grand, but when you finally take that stand, you become a man. You needed to become. You meant everything to me. While you left, I could not see. I guess people just do what they want. Yeah. Time, it goes faster every day, and my heart, it leaves into a memory. Is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
As the world watches and listens in horror, the peaceful pro-democracy demonstration in China comes to a violent and bloody end.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wolves hiding nearby, whispering do or die around me. You say your last good night while I get
There is another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
The target of psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind.
It is words and ideas.
The ammunition used by Psywar.
Its mission is to influence the thoughts of the enemy soldier, and at the same time
is expected and encouraged to study foreign languages and the social sciences such as history, economics, and sociology. He must have a broad and sympathetic understanding of all phases of human experience.
gripping at my skin, the walls of night close in.
but the use of this force as an integral part of combat has now taken on new form.
As I wait to say my last goodbye.
These are the Psy-War soldiers.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We're going to hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Make sure I can hear myself. All this awesome technology, huh? Can you hear? Okay. I believe I can be heard. We're going to find out here in just a second. According to YouTube, I'm heard. There we go. And apparently Rumble can hear me. And we'll check real quick right here. We'll see if Facebook can hear me. And we are we are we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, right? So, all right, guys. Last night's show was not. I didn't have it. I was out of town again. Tried to make it work, but it didn't happen. I was taking care of some stuff and visiting some people and just up the road. But I also would like to wish my wife a happy birthday today. Big 5'3", baby. There you go. So if you happen to see her out and about, give her a high five. Tell her hello. So let's see what else. Oh yeah. Let's get into this real quick. Oh, I'll tell you what else I did. I got off Rumble Studio and went back on my OBS, the old bullshit or old broadcast studio. Reason being is because I'm having issues with Rumble Studio. Apparently, if you start doing a little bit of them commercials for them, then they want to start shadow banning you and all these other kinds of things that's going on. So I'm going to use my OBS and stream on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. And I don't care if I ever do a damn commercial or ever make a dime, you know what I mean? But they come after me to want to get money in order to get more views, this, that, and the other, and followers is just not something that I was into. So anyway, let's get this going. All right. All right, guys. Caught Up is an echo chamber for content creators. Almost all content on this show, Caught Up, is created by citizen journalists. I share content created by citizen journalists who I believe to be the best at finding facts buried deep into the abyss, or outlets who I believe to be best for verifiable information. We have to operate within their system, and we only have the information that they allow us to have. These individuals who nerd out on fact-finding missions and then add their opinion to better inform me to make the best choice for me in this war of narratives is Resolute. The information war in the battle is a battle for your mind and ultimately compliance, and I'm excited to share the content in hopes you'll turn off mainstream media, who I believe is just a version of entertainment. So again, welcome to Caught Up, and on Rumble, hit the like button. Facebook, hit the like button, or thumbs up on Rumble and Facebook, and then whatever YouTube has, I think it's a thumbs up too. I think it's either a heart, thumbs up, or whatever. And we will be doing some Twittering live here in the future too. They changed the rules on that thing. Everybody's wanting money all of a sudden. What all started out to be free has turned into a money racket. And you figure with all the advertising that they get that goes on, why would they even need something like that? But they do. So anyway, show tonight about first of all, the WHO. And what are they doing again? They've done they're trying to make this mpox, monkeypox, a world epidemic, trying to do a whole COVID thing again, but they probably already got a vaccine, set up and ready for it, this, that, and the other. And so, who knows? But the fact that they, here they are starting their garbage again. We're just what, September, October, November, a few months away from the election. How are they going to play this BS on us again? Just like everything's bullshit, right? So then there's the WHO and their thing, and then we got Kamala. She's coming out with all of her dictator type agenda for her campaign, and how she got a campaign. Are they really going to use her? Yeah, she got the virtual nomination, but is she really going to be the nomination at the DNC? I mean, I don't know. It's all up in there. People, we just won't. I guess we're going to find out here eventually. So, but we're going to go over her agenda a little bit, all the things that she believes in. So a little bit of Trump from New Jersey, Bedminster, and then he was on today. He's spot on, saying the same things over and over again. Because mainstream media don't repeat it, so he's got to get out there and do some sort of repeating it, and to make sure that you're hearing the same things over and over, like the election was fake, it's a fraud, all those things like that. You know what I mean? These politicians and the way that they act and don't act and what they say and don't say and everything else that goes along with it. So it is a Saturday. All my favorite Badlanders are doing Gart and Deadwood. And so don't have a whole lot of commentary from them today. Although Badlands Devilish Power Hour is going to be on tonight, and at 10:30, something like that, it'll be live from Gart for a little while. And then after that, if you don't have a virtual ticket, you're not there in person, you don't get to see it. So I didn't get no virtual ticket this time. Maybe in the future we'll get on that bandwagon a little bit. So because I like sharing their stuff, but yep. So Saturday, and if you're an adult, you can sip on some Crown. Is the way that it is. So, let's get started into this presentation on who. All right. This here is from this is Gateway Pundit, and it is uh, who to rename monkeypox virus as pressure mounts from the Biden regime. Just so you guys know, I bet that saw that, didn't it? We'll see. Okay. So, because I'm sharing my screen, when I switched over to the Facebook page, I bet you saw it. I just wanted to make sure that we're rolling through like we're supposed to. All my other avenues to help me, they're behind some. So, all right. Who to rename monkeypox virus to mpox as pressure mounts from the Biden regime. Yep, see, there we are. I can see myself now. It's on Facebook. Look how it's doing that. That's wild. So, anyway. It says Gateway Pundit. Oh, and look what date this was done. November 23rd, 2022, right? So it says Gateway Pundit previously reported that the World Health Organization, WHO, announced that it's working with scientists to develop a new name for the monkeypox virus because they didn't want to be discriminatory and stigmatizing, an effort to employ woke ideals in virology. We're going to go on down here to right here. Darn it, it absolutely said, and I probably should have highlighted it, the Biden administration, right? Right here. The decision was made after the Biden regime threatened WHO officials to change the name and suggest the U.S. might act unilaterally if the international body did not act promptly, according to Politico. The WHO, who traditionally acts as a global coordinator on public health issues, in including declaring international health emergencies and recommending names for diseases that are then adopted by individual countries. But the Biden administration, for months, worried about the virus's name was deepening stigma, especially among people of color. Public health experts and LGBT activists have similarly called for abandoning the virus name, which it received upon its discovery in 1958. Here we go again. Somebody got their fucking feelings hurt about a name. Some LBGT dude that's taking it in the rear, or whatever the hell's going on. Some woke ass individual who just can't stand to hear the facts and the truth, right? So this is what you get right here. You get this garbage. The Biden regime, you got to change the name. COVID, you can't call it the China virus. This, that, and the other. All this garbage that comes with it absolutely amazes me, man, that people get their feelings hurt. Really do. Get tired of fucking offensive stuff. You know what I mean? Just it drives me crazy. Everything is bullshit. All right. So that was Gateway Pundit. Here's Epoch Times. Guess what they did? And this article is, let's see, when's it? Oh, the 14th, just a few days ago. World Health Organization declares Mpox outbreak in Africa a global health emergency. First of all, if you've done any research on the monkeypox, the Mpox, you spread it because you're gay. You have to do things that's not designed to be done the way that God intended it. And that's how you receive it. And the reason they changed it from the monkeypox is because there's enough idiots out here that if you remove monkey from the pox and you just make it a capital M in a pox, well, then obviously you can't get it by being gay or whatever. But you got to have one of these to make it happen. I know it hurts people's feelings, and I'm so sorry. And if you're watching this and it hurts your feelings, if you're a bot or you're AI and you get your fucking butt hurt, leave. If you're human, leave. Here we go. The World Health Organization, WHO, on August 14th declared the outbreak of Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, in Africa as a public health emergency of international concern because of the increase in cases and deaths in recent months. Tedros, the guy from WHO, Tedros, announced the declaration in Geneva, Switzerland, accepting recommendation from the WHO's Emergency Committee. Tedros said there have already been more than 14,000 reported cases and 524 reported deaths in Africa this year. And the emergence of the new Mpox strain, or clad, in addition to other outbreaks, other clads of Mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that the coordinated international response essential to stop these outbreaks saves lives, Tedros says in the briefing. So let's see. COVID-19 was declared a public health emergency of international concern in 2020. That declaration ended in 23 after a number of cases dropped considerably. Well, consider how they took the flu and turned it into the COVID, because when COVID became a thing, the flu went away. There was no more deaths, and then all these deaths was COVID. Now COVID it sort of exists. We have all these deaths again with flu, and like little to no deaths with COVID. It all starts with all these people who think that they're in charge of what they're what they think they're in charge of. Did you guys know that Tedros isn't even a doctor? He says, today I'm committed to you that African citizens will lead this fight with every resource at their disposal. We'll quit screwing each other. You know, like 2 men, 2 women. Do it the right way. Man, female, man, female. You don't have monkeypox. You don't have all this stuff that's going on. But, you know, if you got man, man, woman, woman, and you're doing things uncharacteristically according to the Word of God, well, you know, then this is what happens. You create stuff like monkeypox, or Clad 1, or Clad 2, or Clad 1A. Says the WHO is committed in the days and weeks ahead to coordinate global responses, working closely with each of the affected countries, leveraging our on-the-ground presence to prevent transmission, treat those infected, save lives. Well, isn't Tedros just a nice guy? I mean, he's gonna it's gonna be another pandemic. She's gonna go ahead and shut the world down one more time, like 2 days before the election, right? Everybody's got monkeypox. You were all taking it in the ass. You were being screwed by the American politician. That's why. So whether he's female or male or whatever binary or whatever the hell it is that you think you are, you got fucked. Now you got monkeypox. Monkeypox. Amazing. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Hang on, guys. I got to check this Facebook thing out. Let's see. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Get this back under control again. Sorry about my mouth, but it's Saturday. I figured maybe Saturday's like free mouth day. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people don't understand when you talk like, you know, common sense with a little bit of education and, you know, those kinds of things. But when you add a little bit of explicitness to us, it just sort of explicitive to it. Remember East Tennessee education, guys. When you add some explicit, when you add some cuss words to it, it just seems to, you know, boil up the pot a little bit there. People get excited about it, you know, some don't, some do, whatever the case may be. So, yeah, that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So, hang on. You know what? I gotta do this like this. Let's do the studio mode. We'll do this right here. All right, guys.
Let's go over some big facts and some very substantial truths about where we stand as a country, because we're a failing nation because of the way it's been run for the last 3.5 years. We're a failing nation.
Okay. Said we're a failing nation there. Talks about truth and let's see if this works here. On my big screen.
Let's go over some big facts and some.
Guys, that looks really good. You know what I mean? The picture's clear. You can see him really well. The waving flag in the background, man. You know, that looks really, really good. So he wants to talk about the truth and the facts, right? So we'll go down here again. Sorry, guys. In that, I'm upside down. Leave that. Somehow I'm upside down. That's funny as hell. Okay. So I tried to fix myself so I could be down there at the bottom, and my camera's upside down. And with everything that's going on at the moment, yeah, I'm not. I'm not in a position to fix it. So we'll go back to the statement. So what we were at was obviously he was trying to talk about the facts and the truth. So
Yeah, I am radical. We need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously. As President of the United States, I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance.
Let's eliminate all of that. But would you support changing the dietary guidelines? Yes. You know, the food pyramid. What would people yes. To reduce red meat specifically? Yes, I would.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
This whole movement is about rightly saying we need to take a look at these budgets.
Harris asserted that ICE is perceived as the modern-day Ku Klux Klan.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
That puts ICE in the same category as the KKK. Is that what you're asking me? I see no parallel.
I'm not finished.
I see none.
And yeah, I am radical. We need to get radical about what we are doing.
So she's seriously dangerous, right? So let me ask you guys a question. If we're all going to be honest with each other right here, how did she get this pick? So if we go back, we know that the debate with Biden and Trump, and then the domino effect, right? The exposure stage that we're in, all the, Joey the Sponge, this, that, and the other. They removed him in a coup-like way. Not real sure if that's even legal and how they did these and handled things like that. So, but we're all going to find out because remember, this is an exposure stage. Things are dripping rapidly or more rapidly than what they used to. You know what I mean? As far as how the information was coming out, where it's going type thing. So she's radical. More radical than Bernie Sanders. More radical than any of it, which is why they chose her, and then they chose her. Y'all didn't choose her. If you're a Democrat, you did not vote in a primary for Kamala Harris at all. So they chose her for you, and they chose her because they used the 25th on Joe to make these backroom deals, to make sure he got the hell out of the way because they knew that they can't beat Trump. So I think their agenda is now that they know they're not going to beat Trump, so we're going to find something where they're going to shut down elections, cyber, infrastructure, garbage, whatever the case may be, or they're going to allow him to win and then to sabotage his next 4 years the best way he can that they tried to do the last 4 years that he was in office or the previous 4 years that he was in office, that kind of thing. So, yeah, radical. She's absolutely a nut job to the masses for sure. So, and that was radical Kamala, So, um, let's go to this article. Victor Hanson Davis. Gonna show it, ain't it? All right, there we go, guys. Victor Hanson Davis. I don't know if you are Victor Davis Hanson. I'm sorry. Familiar with him, but he's pretty good. This, that, and the other. That's a younger picture of him than where he's at. And everything is broken. It's the Patriot Post, August 16th, 2024. So obviously it was a yesterday article. Sorry, sipping on some Crown, guys. So it says the already long 2024 presidential campaign has become the strangest in modern history. As you can see, the headline is the weird, creepy, surreal, and dangerous 2024 campaign. Here's 10 unanswered questions that illustrate how and why we've entered this bizarre world. So, how can Kamala Harris merely promise us fixes to the 2025 for inflation and an open border when she is still vice president for another 6 months? Why can't she enact her proposed solutions to these problems which she helped created right now? Makes no sense to me either, guys, right? I mean, right now, right? Since she's got all these proposals going on, why can't she do it right now? 2, would the media prefer to help her win but lose further credibility themselves by failing to ask why she has disowned her last 3 decades of leftist agendists, or to reclaim some of their reputations and thereby risk her losing? Very good. Does the left appreciate the new campaign and election protocols it is now established? And that is to say, cancel by fiat their virtual nominee 4 months before the election when he sinks in the polls. They canceled their fiat. Cancel by fiat their virtual nominee. Nullify the outcome of a year of primaries and the will of 14 million voters. Threaten a sitting president with removal by the 25th Amendment process unless he steps aside as his party's nominee. Anoint and replacement nominee before the convention and without a single primary. And then prevent any rival candidate from challenging her. These are questions, ladies and gentlemen, we should be asking. We should be asking ourselves. Number 4, after the president of 2020-2024, is the future orthodox protocol for any Democratic nominee now to avoid all interviews and exemplary speaking and stick to teleprompted speeches and scripted responses only? Is there a fear that a transparent, progressive messenger with an overt and honest left-wing message will double down on it and thus guarantee defeat? Great questions, right? How about this? For the next 80 days, has Kamala like Harris now become a temporary MAGA candidate as she expropriates East Tennessee education? Donald Trump's position from border security to no taxes on tips. Just, guys, we know that. We know about Joe Biden and his plagiarism, so I mean, Kamala would follow in that, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does the new anti-Semitic Democratic Party prefer to risk losing with the radical nonentity WASP Tim Walz as vice president's candidate rather than likely win a popular, successful, and moderate Jewish Josh Shapiro? If one vice presidential candidate went to a war zone to serve with his deployed unit while his counterpart preferred to retire from the military to avoid doing the same and lies about his application, how can the media credibly assert that the former's tour was militarily suspect and yet pronounce the latter's absence as heroic? Because the medias are dumbass. If the current president canceled his re-election bid because he was too debilitated and unpopular and is now rarely seen or heard, and if the vice president is out of Washington running the campaign in his place, but avoiding all press conferences, interviews, and unscripted addresses, who exactly, if anyone, is running the United States for the next 6 months of the lame duck Biden-Harris administration? That is probably the best question. Should have been probably number 1, not number 9. Number 10, if Trump all summer has been compared by his enemies to Hitler and his murderous Third Reich, and if 20-year-old would-be assassin and murderer with ease took a sniper's position to kill Trump without a notified Secret Service or other law enforcement attempting to abort the shooter's attempted assassination, what signal does that send to other would-be assassins for the next 80 days of the 2024 campaign? Very good questions. Is this message that a 20-year-old amateur sniper could brazenly and visibly for nearly an hour breach all Secret Service secretary perimeters to shoot 8 times at the president, hit him in the ear, kill one innocent bystander, wound 2 others, and then almost any future mere experienced serious shooter could match or exceed the ability of that disturbed amateur to get close enough to Trump to fire more than 8 shots at his head? And that shooting Trump in many leftist quarters would subsequently earn an unhinged killer eternal fame, applause, and immortality. In sum, presidential campaigns traditionally kick off after Labor Day, mostly follow accepted protocols, but this warped 2024 version violates every prior precedent and is not just creepy but dangerous even before the campaign was supposed to formally begin. So, as you guys can see, they've done some uncharacteristic like things, the Democratic Party. They are the issue in this country. Now, all the Democrats in this country, the party itself, have issues, are issues, and should be removed. And then 98% of the rhinos, the Republicans, they go with them. And then that leaves just 5 Republicans. And then we got to do something about getting the rest of the new duly reelected one day paper ballot ID. And we'll fix a lot of garbage in this country, right? You know what I mean? Absolutely. So, after reading that right there, let's see what Trump's got to say. Because Victor asked some great questions. Trump, he wants to tell us the facts.
Yeah, I am radical. You need to get radical about what
that Kamala is desperate for voters to ignore. She cast the tie-breaking votes that caused record inflation. She cast the votes. She's going to destroy our country, and as a result of Kamala's inflation price hikes, they've cost a typical household a total of $28,000. These are numbers coming from government. They're not coming from me. $28,000 she's cost the typical household. Kamala's inflation nightmare continues to cost the average American family $1,100 every single month. $1,100. Again, government numbers. You're paying $148 more a month on food.
She cast the tie-breaking votes that
average family, because Kamala and her $129 more on energy and $241 more. This is all per month on rent. So you have that 148, 129, 241, and then many other increases. You add it all up, it's thousands and thousands of dollars that she and he have cost people. The cost of a typical monthly mortgage has doubled since I left office, and that number was about 3 months old from government, and now it's tripled. We had mortgage rates at around 2%, close to 2%, and they're now at 10%, and you can't get a mortgage. So that means it's a lot higher than 10%. I guess it is whenever they want to give over the money, and that's a lot more than 10%. So when you think about double, they've actually quadrupled or more than that. Grocery prices have skyrocketed. Cereals are up 26%. Bread is up 24%. Butter is up 37%. Baby formula is up 30%. Flour is up 38%. And eggs are up 46%. And many items are up at much higher rates than that. Since Harris took office, car insurance is up 55%, and they just announced it's going to be substantially higher than that within the next week. They expect big increases in car insurance. It's out of control, and insurance generally. Thanks to Kamala's war on American energy, electricity prices are up 32%. Gasoline prices are up 50% and going higher. Meanwhile, real incomes are down by over $2,000 a year. So the incomes for people are down $2,000 on average a year, government numbers. The typical American has seen a 4% pay cut under Kamala and Biden. Crooked Joe.
office car insurance is up 55%, and they just announced it's going to be substantially higher than that within the next week. They expect big increases in car insurance. It's out of control, and insurance generally. Thanks to Kamala's war on American energy, electricity prices are up 32%. Gasoline prices are up 50% and going higher. Meanwhile, real incomes are down by over $2,000 a year. So the incomes for people are down $2,000 on average a year, government numbers. The typical American has seen a 4% pay cut under.
The government hasn't caught up with that yet, but virtually right now, as of the time they did this, virtually 100% of the net job creation in the last year has gone to migrants. Harris gave work permits and Social Security numbers to more than 3 million illegal immigrants to steal jobs from Americans. So think of that.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. So she was the tiebreaker because she's the VP in the Senate that pushed all these policies to raise everything. Then the border. I mean, these are things that she's directly involved in. Like, she could fix some things, she probably could have, and yet she chose to go the direction of the most communistic way that you possibly could, right? Because she hates America. So we have to wonder why. So she does those things. The tiebreak. And you got till January for the next guy's inaugurated at the transition. So there's some things you can do since Joe's not president anymore. Oh, I know he stepped down from the race. His campaign no longer exists. He ain't happy about that shit. Just wait till the next DNC thing comes up. It would be great if he shows up and they put a microphone in that man's hand. Bet they don't. I mean, I could be wrong. They may treat him like the president there. I don't know. Because perception's a lot. So, time will tell, right? Joe, where are you? So, if Joe's not there, Joe's not running the country all of a sudden. Kamala's there, but she's not running the country all of a sudden. Who the hell's running the country, guys? They're not legitimate. They're not legal, lawful, legitimate people put into office at all. Just my opinion. I've showed all kinds of stuff on all my shows that could make one believe he's not a real legitimate president. So it's up to you. I can only take this caravan so far. You got to go look for yourself. You know, the pastor at the pulpit reads from the Bible, gives a few scriptures, gives an opinion, tells a description, all these kinds of things. But in the very end, it's up to you to go see if what he said is there. And if you don't, if he's not telling the truth, then you're just going to believe something. And for the last 3.5 years, we have believed a whole lot of garbage. So Trump gives his opinion there. And so let's see what her plan is just a little bit, right? All right, Harrisonville's economic plan in North Carolina. Thank you for the 11 viewers that are watching right now. I very much appreciate that. If you guys have verified your email, you can get involved in the live chat. Hang on. You can get involved in the live chat. You can say something. Now we have 12. I appreciate that. I'm having a real issue with being shadow banned. And when I've been using Rumble Studio, I get 4 or 5 views or live at one time. And the problem is 2 or 3 of them are me because I have a YouTube channel up going, a Facebook channel up going, and then the Rumble, obviously. So there's 1 on each one. So there's 3. And if you have 5 viewing, then that means there's only 2 other people. And that was at Real Ed Reno. He was 1. So then there was only 1. Right now I have 12, 11, right? But this is on Rumble. Meaning if I have 12, that means there's 11 other viewers besides me. Then I still have Facebook and YouTube going, and those viewerships are, whatever it is. So if you guys are verified emailers through Rumble, you can chat on the Facebook Live channel. You might be able to chat here on the YouTube. I don't see anything up here if you are, if you're not, or whatever. But anyhow, I'm going to whore for likes. Hit the smash thumbs up button. Say something. The more interaction, the better off it is. If you're sipping on something tonight and you're an adult, go ahead, because you know what, guys? It is Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, back to the presentation. So, Harris unveils economic plan in North Carolina on 8/16. So, apparently it's yesterday. Says she's outlined her economic plan at a campaign rally in North Carolina on Friday, calling her agenda a way to create opportunity economy. She said that an economy where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. I thought we lived in a country where you had those opportunities already. Like she just recreated this, like this new, like this new America here. I mean, she recreated this this new agenda. You know what I mean? This what do we got going on here? And that's just so crazy that these things weren't here before. Pretty sure our country existed that way before she ever got a big ass up there. Just saying. What does it say? Opportunity economy, where everyone can compete to have a real chance to succeed, has an opportunity to build wealth for themselves and their children. The event was held to promote the economic proposals for campaign revealed this week, which it says it would be a priority for the first 100 days in office. Ain't that imagine that shit? They always focused on the first 100 days of office. And that focus would come through executive orders to subvert the Constitution, to go around Congress. Just my opinion. The proposals include federal ban on price gouging. Sounds a little bit like Venezuela, don't it? That would push the Federal Trade Commission and state attorneys generals to investigate how corporations exploit consumers by raising prices for profit. Okay, guys, I'm going to say this. The corporations are doing this. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a whole bunch of corporations out here who are helping provide the agenda for the woke ideology. That includes most all mainstream media. Every channel you're watching on that fucking TV is included in that shit. So, this federal ban, this Federal Trade Commission, these state attorney generals to investigate how corporations exploit consumers, and state attorney generals to exploit consumers by raising prices for profit. The chicken did not wake up and tell the farmer he wanted more for his egg. The pig didn't ask more for his bacon. The cow didn't ask more for its milk. These are people in positions of power who write policies and then they sign it. And what have they done? They can't do this shit legally through state legislators or Congress. So how do they get this done? They go through corporations. And the corporations are the guys that said, the chicken woke up today and said, that egg was worth almost a penny yesterday, is worth 99 fucking cents today. Guaranteed that never happened. Guaranteed. Trump's campaign bashed the agenda Friday, equating it to a socialist policies implemented in the countries such as Cuba and Venezuela, arguing it would not effectively reduce costs for consumers. It was particularly critical of a ban on price gouging, equating it to government-imposed price controls. It's true. Focus on cutting needless bureaucracies and unnecessary regulatory red tape, while protecting consumers and creating stable businesses environment with consistent and transparent rules of the road, Harris said. Bullshit. She's lying. The key to creating the opportunity economy is building up our middle class. It is essential, she added. Now, the middle class is essential. We are the working force. Middle class, blue collar. Technically, on paper, I'm probably fucking poor. Not even close to middle class. But I don't believe that's where I'm at. But if you add the dollar sign and you put it in this little space on a spreadsheet, somebody in that position of political power may look at me and say, you're poor. You're not even middle class. But It's this guy, my family, as a whole, sisters, brothers, kids, wife, whatever, is what fuels the economy in this country. The middle class. We pay for it every single day. We roll it on out. Says the county's been through some tough issues before, but Biden said when he's presumptive Democratic nominee. Harris, with her proposals, is seeking to go on the offense on the issues as her campaign has built momentum since the Biden withdrew and she's entered the race. Lie. There is no momentum. She never had momentum before 2020. She didn't even get 1%. The Trump campaign has sought to tie Harris to Biden's administration policies, noting she served as vice president for the entirety of Biden's White House term. The plan on price gouging has immediately sparked some debate, with the Washington Post opinion stating, when your opponent calls you communist, maybe don't propose price controls. Prices are still high, Harris said Friday, while many grocery chains pass along these savings, others still aren't. She's trying to blame everything except for the fact that she voted. She was the tie-breaking vote to this shit. She hit Trump over his economic plan, saying his plan would, in effect, impose a national sales tax on necessities imported from abroad. That will devastate Americans, and it will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs. A Trump tax on gas, Trump tax on food, Trump tax on clothing, Trump tax on over-the-counter medications, she argued. Lying. All those things are Biden, Harris policies. Just plain and simple. Gas was $1.87 or a little cheaper just before the election. Food, by far, I go to the grocery store, I probably pay $100 to $150 more a month on groceries than I did prior to the 2020 election. On everything. And then when COVID hit, obviously, 2x4s went from $1 something or $3 and something to $13 and something. OSB, Advantech, all the building materials, glue, paints, any fossil fuel related type products, that kind of thing. But if the motherfucker was solar or wind power, you might have a savings. Or battery. It's non-sustainable. You take my word for it. Look, guys, I'm just telling you. I mean, this is an echo chamber. I share the shit that's created. Every once in a blue moon, I get lucky and create something a little bit. Maybe make a video or whatever, One day I'll hone my skills and get really good like the Dilly Meme team, and maybe be a little bit more like Fox. You know what I'm saying? Where you might get the truth. I fucking don't know, but we'll look a little bit deeper, but because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to hold the government accountable. The politicians you claim to vote in accountable. The news accountable. Look, I fall in the same category as the rest of us. I'm just a little bit lazy. But if we just did a little bit more, we're not in this position the same way today, folks. We're not. So these podcasts like mine, Badlands Media, X22 Report, let's see, LT with And We Know, sometimes Tucker Carlson, every once in a while Joe Rogan, and them two guys, they got like hundreds of millions of followers. They could like so change the landscape of some things if they would just get involved in the truth instead of worrying about the pockets. I mean, Joe Rogan's a 100 millionaire. If I said that correctly. Maybe he's almost a billionaire. What are you worried about? You make the money, dude. You could have a platform, your own servers, your own app, your own Google Play, your Apple Store, whatever the hell it was. You have the money where no one could stop you. You wouldn't need somebody's corporation. And then you could tell the truth. But instead, Spotify, whatever contract you followed, whatever the case may be, and you're not the only one. Bongino, same way. Love the dude. Great information a lot of the times, especially when it comes to Secret Service, right? But man, followed him in the beginning like 5 years ago out of the basement of his house. And then when he got in there as a correspondent with Fox News and he took Rush Limbaugh's spot, it went all to hell. And then now, because of Rumble and what was the other, I forget the other platform he tried to help create. I'm not even on it anymore. I know he's involved in Rumble, but anyhow, why are we not talking about how the elections were stolen from the American people? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were put into positions that they are in because of the Associated Press and the media calling the races, not because of legitimately factual voting by we the people. What happens in this election when we get the opportunity, if we get to vote, because they don't shut it down cybersecurity, infrastructurally? Guys, it's the same problem. It's just wash, rinse, and repeat. We need these things implemented, which is stupid because the rules and the laws are already there. The problem is we, are so worried about working all week long to get to Friday so that we can get somewhere where we can listen to some music, have a beer, this, that, and the other, and calm down for the day. Relax. So that when we show up on Saturday to some outing, whether it's a football game, baseball game, soccer, this, that, or the other, that we can relax. We can, put the week away. Show up on Sunday, we should be living for Sunday, which is the first day of the week, right? We show up there just because we're relaxed. We're doing our part in church, tithing, donating, and doing what little is expected of us. And we got it fucking backwards. You can't say you don't believe in politics. You live in this country and politics are what change everything. Some dude showed up January 20th, 2020, and by the stroke of his pen, he changed the landscape of this country. For you to sit back and say that you're not involved in politics is a fucking lie. We are involved in politics. Period. You can't say that you're not involved. You're buying gas, it's too damn high. You're buying eggs, it's too damn high. Milk, bread, pizza, whatever it is. You're going to a restaurant or an establishment and it's too high. And I can promise you, it ain't the owner. It's the corporation that's selling the shit to the owner. He has no choice but to raise the prices that way because corporate offices did it that way. And where are they getting it from? They're getting it from this Biden regime, this Kamala Harris regime, this regime, this monarch, this so-called king that changes the landscape of our country. You are living in a political world, and if you're out there saying you're not, you're a fucking liar. Open your eyes. It's ridiculous that the rest of us that know this have to wait for you slothful, woke idiots to finally figure it out. And the fact that you would be affected for the last 3.5 years and it not affect you financially, you must be one stupid motherfucker is all I could say. The fact that you would walk around and brag about you voted for Biden and you'll vote for Harris, you're dumb. There's countries out there that you can go to that operate this way. Venezuela is one of them. China is another. Taiwan, I don't know, North Korea. You want to go live like this where your wealth is redistributed, where your labor, all these things that come into play, there's places out there for that. You don't have to fuck my country up to make it like the rest of them when you could go there. Just change your citizenship. Hell, you don't even have to learn their fucking language. Ask any Spanish guy that walks across the border that doesn't know English. He gets a job, a phone, all taxpayer paid for. Go back and look through the history of my shows. You'll see, not just mine, Badlands Media, And We Know, X22 Report, all these other places, Eye of the Storm. I mean, all this shit. It's out there, guys. You can go look for yourself. But what you're doing is you're doing this, that. Stand the fuck up. Start a podcast. Go to work and stir up the water cooler. Let people know that we can stop this shit. We can. It takes a collective group to do so, but we can do it. The 1% out there that's bitching, that they got you believing is 100%. Very, very little. They're going to get their asses kicked if it becomes kinetic. You're going to see they weren't that fucking big to begin with. That the news media, the television, has got you believing one thing. You're scared. Work all week, keep your mouth shut, keep your head down, keep doing what you got to do. Buy your fucking sports tickets, go to the universities, watch the baseball games, the football games, do all that bullshit, go to your NASCAR races, whatever the case may be, and then sit back and talk about how you're not affected by politics. You're fucking lying to yourself. And if you're doing that to yourself there, I can't imagine what the rest of your life looks like. You're probably living outside your means. It's what they want. You're in the middle of some fucking dispute within your family. The kids, your wife, the grandparents, all this damn disruption, this division, it's all by design. It's all in that. The inflation, the prices, the division, the divorce, the disrespect, the lack of Christ. I ain't talking religion. The religion of this country is fucking despicable. Period. There's a church on every corner where I live. 300 and some churches in my county. I just need one that wants to follow Christ. That's it. I just need one president that worries more about what we the people are than his fucking wallet. I need one congressman that's truly voted in by me on a paper ballot with an ID, and I speak English in this country, in a district, within the state that I live in a county that can all be done in one damn day. That's it. One day. And if you have issues with that, there are countries out there for you. Get on a fucking overpriced plane ticket, put your bag in the belly of a plane, and take it where the fuck you want to go. Because I promise you, there's countries out there, if you don't like ours, that fall in the category of what it is you're looking for. Period. And sorry I get so dramatic. I do. I'm animated. I use my hands. This, that, and the other. This is why my family said create a podcast. Because they get tired of hearing this shit. When I got to look at them and go, did you vote? And I got one of them telling me, I ain't got kids that need to vote. Are you fucking kidding me? Inflation's so high that a house that was worth $180,000 was purchased for $305,000, and then $25,000 worth of remodel. Busted my ass for 6 weeks on the weekends and every night after work, to make sure the individual that I cared for and loved got their asses in the house on time. The house, they'll never sell it for that. Vanguard, BlackRock, buying all this shit up with cash. Not even looking at the place. Just buying it up. Trying to make first-time home buyers. Making it enormously hard. Down payments, enormously hard. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, the Democratic Party, and 98% of the Republican Party all want that for you and me. One person did this. The next person can remove this. We need to get back on a constitutional authority. Fuck case law. Constitutional law. That's it. I get that people think we live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. There is some things that democracy, that word, applies to. But to fucking save democracy while killing the republic, I ain't for that. Sorry, guys. And if you don't like it, there's all kinds of shows out there that you can go suck a blah, 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 that'll make you feel fucking better. And so that you think that it's okay. So while you're taking it, however, whatever fucking orifice they're putting it in your body, then you're good with it. And see, today's show, it's a little real, ain't it? It's a little real. Because if we're not awoke enough yet, and this shit doesn't go the way that it needs to, this upcoming election, you think the last 4 years were a little rough? Go look at Venezuela. Been talking about it for years. Wealthy country. One of the richest ones in the world. Resources out the ass. Look where they're at now. It's what they're trying to do to the United States of America. Not you and me. The so-called elected politicians. And these elite that don't even live in this fucking country live somewhere else. So at some point we gotta wake up and face the fucking music, folks. And if I've hurt your feelings, get bigger feelings.
So this was from The Hill. It's a left-leaning article. You know, they suck on Kamala's fucking clit, and whoever else is a part of the Democratic National Committee. And so this is what we're going to get every time. So she unveils her economic plan in North Carolina. All right. How about communism? Goes viral as Kamala Harris promotes economy, crashing price controls, and other communist tricks in America.
So these are the things that she's doing. This was the agenda they knew that they wanted to get, right? How do you destroy a country in a very short period of time and never fire a shot? You put the dumbasses that are in charge in there now. That's how. And what do? You make we the people so fucking lullabied into it that they don't care to get up to damn protect themselves.
Like big boys, itty bitty boys, Mississippi boys, inner city boys. I like the pretty boys with the bow tie. Get your nails did, let it blow dry. I like a big beard, I like a clean face. I don't discriminate. Come and get a taste from the playboys to the gay boys. Go and slay boys, you my fave boys. Baby, I don't need you. I don't need. I just wanna freak you. I wanna be. I heard you were free too last night. What's 2 plus 2?
It's just a little video of her absolute accomplishments. I mean, What do you got? Gasoline plus 51%, electricity 32%, airfare 23%, eggs 47%, car insurance 54%, and then their famous little laugh. Oh, Kami Kamala, Border Czar Harris. She wants to get rid of your personal health insurance. All the things she's accomplished. You go right ahead and vote for that shit. Life's rough this morning. I'm sorry. I am so sorry about that. But it is. So since Harris cast a tie-breaking vote on the so-called Inflation Reduction Act, which is what raised everything, ladies and gentlemen, it says she's admitted to her failed policies have led to the worst inflation crisis in over 100 years. Loaf of bread, 50% more. Ground beef, 50%. Harris also admitted that the American dream is out of reach because of her far-left policies.
My bad. I wonder why that was muted, guys. I apologize for that. I really do. I apologize for that. Let me see 1 second on the Trump statement. It's a little messed up, so I need to figure out why. I wonder why. Anyway, she just goes through everyday pricing garbage, so
Prices are still too high. As president, I will go after the bad actors, and I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food.
You dumb bitch. First of all, it's gouging, not gauging, you fucking idiot. Secondly, that's not why prices are so high. Prices are high because you and Colonel Fuckwit shut down energy production on your first fucking day in office.
Come on, man.
Shut up, asshole. We got it on video. When the price of fuel goes up, the price of food goes up, along with anything else that depends on the use of fuel for production or transportation, or both. Rather than address the root cause of the problem, this human penis pump is peddling communism in the form of federally regulated price controls, which lead to massive starvation 100% of the time. We've seen this before. We've seen it in the Soviet Union, and we've seen it in Venezuela. In 2003, Hugo Chavez imposed price controls on food. By 2017, 93% of Venezuelans could not afford to eat. We've also seen it right here in our own country. In 2012, during Hurricane Sandy, the communist mayor of New York City, with his deformed 4-inch feet,
Bloomberg has deformed feet that are 4 inches long,
imposed anti-gouging price controls on fuel. The result was a disastrous gasoline shortage, the likes of which they'd never seen. And we're seeing it happen right now.
Food is ridiculous. I've been homeless for a year now.
So if you want communist price controls on food, then vote for this dumb bitch. If you want the problem solved permanently, then vote for Donald Trump. It's literally that simple. Feast or famine, the choice is yours. And one more thing. If Kamala's mouth is moving, she's fucking lying.
You ever watch her laugh? She's crazy. No, she's crazy. She's nuts.
This has been another public service announcement, paid.
Okay. There you have it, man. She's part of the problem. Has been for quite some time, apparently. So that's been a pretty big dig. So I've done over the last few weeks some stuff about her. We know who she is. She's just not good for our country, and she was just placed in there. She was placed in there 4 years ago. That's not Biden's real VP pick. I'm sure he could have found somebody better to take that part, but he didn't, and that's why I believe that they stuck these people in there. Okay. And so it's not his pick. It's not the Democratic National Committee's pick either. It's not the 14 million people that voted in the primary who are so-called Democrats. Not their pick either. No. Placed into position because she follows the rules. She's going to try to turn America into Venezuela while they all line their pockets full of cash. What's going to happen? They're going to get some shit in their ass. Ridiculous. All right, so let's go back to the presentation. If you guys don't know who Chris Paul is, Chris Paul is a Badlands Media. He's on Substack as I'm Your Moderator. He has a podcast or an audio cast there. He has a paid subscription, so he's really good in his ways. And if you've watched me at all, you know that he like Chris Paul. I like his opinions. I like everything. That he's got to say when he explains how it is. So anyway, Captain Seth Cashel. Writes a little article. It says, while little has surfaced by way of vice presidential consideration in the last day, my first two predictions of how yesterday's debate would unfold went down like, and he wrote this June 28th, 2024, guys. This is Captain K's Corner. It's on Substack. And yeah. It says, in fact, Biden damn near filled out his debate bingo card in the first 2 minutes that he opened his mouth.
And you can see Circle K's Biden debate lies. You can see all the stuff that he's got on his little bingo card here. A lot of stuff there, ain't it? Yeah. Man. In a brief recap, Trump won with ease. And even if CNN said it was 67-33% in his favor, on the downside, they said 30% of Americans will never have their minds changed and will follow the news and government all the way to the work camps. That's true. Biden got taken for a ride on outmaneuvered by Trump on many topics, including abortion. Biden lost handily, but the most likely he ran his canoe over the falls and will never recover. And we know that he is now off the nomination. Polls will favor Trump perhaps heavier than the Republican presidential nominee since Reagan, which has been true if you follow the real polls. And even with all the good news, social media is filled with negativity. A bunch of buts or what ifs, and Michelle Obama and Deep State. And for everyone who will listen to the clutter comment section, making it difficult to spike the football for even 24 hours. Then it goes on to talk about how they're not worried about 2028 because they're too invested in and focused on 2024. If Trump is kept away from the White House, none of this election integrity business will matter for Hill of Beans because more states will enshrine their election cheats into law, and no outsider will be able to rise to a political prominence until law and order is restored by some act of divine help. Anxiety and constant despair is literally killing our people over things they've limited control over. And he was right when he discovered the theory that put his heart at ease. He calls it the Chris Paul theory. Love me some Chris Paul. Chris Paul's the shorter guy. Right there. Says he first met him on social media following a growing exponentially in 21. Chris has a podcast called Be Reasonable, an insightful presence on social media. He's found it to be one of the most independent-minded people in the sphere of folks who don't exactly feel comfortable in breaking from groupthink. And he's a master contrarian. They've spoken several times in the past few months about the insane cycle of human existence and they find themselves in. And with Chris's hopes for the best and ostensibly hopes to see Trump win the 24, he is much more long-term approach than Captain Cashel does. Chris leaves little window for a second of four possible election outcomes in which Trump is allowed to win an apparent and modest landslide, only give Americans the notion that elections are fair, thereby preserving the corrupt system from which Trump finally heads off to pasture at the conclusion of his second stint in office. However, Chris thinks that the best long-term approach to solving the election crisis is for Biden to be the apparent winner for the 24 election, requiring 100 million ballots to overcome, however, a large Trump pending surge. It's going to be maybe 85 to 90 million real votes, with an even more grotesque way of carrying it out than simply pausing the count in the key states, counting for a few days, which was announced in advance the last time around. Paul's theory is that with Trump now expected to win and Biden's term wreaking havoc on the country, that such an outcome could only be unbelievable. 5 to 8 Americans, likely voters today, wouldn't believe the 2020 race was fair, and even more would think the 2024 race was unfair and unacceptable. Having conditions move from inconvenient to unacceptable creates a sea change for people to finally get pissed off enough to mobilize and force accountability for those who preside and keep watch over corrupt systems, which are not limited to just elections. Getting there requires pain. Americans like to bitch, gripe, and whine on social media. But at the end of the day, most still have access to favorite TV series, hobby, Subway sandwiches, or a place to stay out of the rain. Those who barely holding on to those things are holding on to hope that their votes will count, and eventually, as been upheld by civilized history to this point, backlash becomes inevitable. I don't know exactly how this election is going to shape up, but I know how it should shape up. This time around, after years of discovery, tens of millions more Americans know it too. They'll have their eyes peeled and their heads on a swivel, not only election night, but for the weeks on ending leading up to that day in which candidates like Joe Biden pile up the millions of ballots that disfranchise millions of Americans who did all they could in vain to prevent the emergence of the godless and corrupt to power. The Chris Paul theory will not only save your mind, but it may also save your life. Once you adopt it, you'll understand this season simply can't last forever. Its boat is taking on too much water. The consequences of that drowning are too severe for it to continue in this place indefinitely. Inevitably, the free people of the world will win. And last night was another link to the chain on their way there, and he's talking about the debate.
Chris Paul is amazing. And if you don't have a Substack, I suggest you get one. And if you don't follow anyone else, follow. I'm your moderator, Chris Paul. It's a paid subscription. I think it's $5 a month or something. Amazing, amazing insight. The research that he does, like all these guys, like Just Human, same thing. He has a Substack and a Rumble channel. He deep dives into court cases, all the transcripts that come from it, and he reads them, and he does a very good job of interpreting them. And then you got Burning Bright, who once you learn, it's like alcohol, or he's like beer. He's an acquired taste. Once you find that, his insights are really good. You got CanCon, Ash in America. You got all those other gentlemen out there. And ladies, you have LT from And We Know, and you have Dave from X22, and you have me from Resolute on the show called Caught Up. You have John Harold, Patel Patriot, Mike Flynn. Every once in a while, Tucker Carlson. Every once in a while, Joe Rogan. And many, 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 many more. And those are the gentlemen and ladies that you should be listening to. Follow Laura Logan, doing the research with. They give you the links. They make it easy. They do the hard work. And they're amazing because the way that they interpret and conclude, explain, gives me comfort in knowing that while I find joy in our suffering, that we will one day come above this, either here in our country, in the flesh on earth, or biblically on earth as it is in heaven. So, yeah. And I know when I bring up these biblical references, as I've been, running my mouth and cussing, sipping on Crown. Look, guys, those are not the type of sins that are going to keep me from going to heaven. That's for another day. It's for a show that I will do tomorrow called Burning the Oil. So, I was blessed to run my damn mouth. And look there, man. I got people commenting on my Facebook. Danny Elson for People on the Porch says, that's right. 11 minutes ago, man. Thank you for commenting on that and hitting the like button. Thank you. Commentary from Victor Davis Hansen. The World Health Organization. That they're trying to pull, the Mpox, like I told you. You want monkeypox? Sorry about my mouth. take a dick in the ass. An infected one. I don't know how the ladies do it. Pretty sure, though, the research that I've read says take a dick in the ass and you'll get monkeypox. You'll get all kinds of stuff going that direction, gentlemen. He wasn't intended to be that way. But it's my show. It's a Saturday. We're sipping on Crown. I'm cussing. We're talking biblical things. We're talking politics. That's what makes this country so great. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms, to put your government in its place. If it gets too big, to remove it and restore it. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Makes no sense to me why we're not living that direction as we are, should be. Founding fathers would not be happy with these I'm Generation X. And I'm not happy with a lot of Generation Xers out there, you know what I mean? Weak-minded individuals. Don't bother them. And love their life the way that it is. Until all that shit goes away. Yeah. When your dollar's worth no more than mine, it all adds up to the same. We're all exactly equal the way they want it. You might find out that I may be more valuable than you because I can do things that you can't because you had to hire somebody. Because that's why society said it was, right? Been punked. By your federal government. So, okay, guys, let me look one more thing. I think I have another. I don't know why that did that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Watch this, guys.
And Joe Biden, what they did to him was disgraceful, by the way. And it really is a threat to democracy. It was a coup by people that wanted him out. Didn't do not the way they're supposed to do it. 100.
See, Trump generally tells the truth. You know what? I'm going to wait and see when this video catches up to make sure that you actually heard the audio. Let's talk about the coup and how they did that to Joe Biden. That's the guys. All right. I was getting so because I'm not on Rumble Studio, my chat doesn't pull up here on the side where I can read it. And that Real Ed Reno's on there. He's not on Rumble, he's on Messenger. So he's driving cross country somewhere out in the Midwest. A guy working every single day, you know what I mean? And the video I just played was talking about the coup, what they did to Joe Biden. Trump gives us information enough to keep us on an even keel to where he's not lying, guys. Which is why the hell they hate him. He's not a politician. Let's see what's the next one. I had a few of these. I guess maybe that was the one.
Prices are too high. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. The bills add up. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes, prescription medication, the cost of food. A loaf of bread costs 50% more. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's a serious housing shortage. The price of housing has gone up. It's too difficult to build, and it's driving prices up. It is out of reach. The size of down payments have gone up as well. Costs are still too high. There's not much left at the end of the month, and prices are still too high.
She said that. I mean, what was that? 2019? I mean, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. That came out of Kamala, her mouth. There's all her right there, just so you know, it was all her. All right, let me see if I have some of this stuff's pretty damn cool. All I can say. All right, one more video from the Dilly Meme team. I may play this. I played this the other day. I'm gonna play it again. Y'all enjoy it. And boys are on X, the Dilly Meme team. They're pretty good. I see. That's pretty good, man. The way they did that right there. So, all right, let me see. Just guys, this is pretty neat. This is pretty neat right here. Right here.
What's that say? New York Times. Harris used to worry about laughing. Now joy is fueling her campaign. They're trying to show where they're the mainstream media here, all the left leaning. You got the Guardian, NPR, the Associated Press, Washington Post, WAPO, New York Times, Vanity Fair Salon. How the two of them
are bringing all that garbage together. So that is so wild, man. Oh, guys. All right. So I got more live than I do through Rumble Studio on my OBS using Rumble Studio. I appreciate that. The 10 other viewers besides myself watching on Rumble, plus the ones that were going on Facebook and YouTube, I thank you very, very much. If you don't mind, smash that like button. If you're not a contributor on Rumble, I would ask you that you would sign up for Rumble. It's a more free speech place than YouTube. And then while you're there, go back through my videos and like them, maybe comment. My page says I have 58 followers. I truly have 37 legitimate followers. The other 21 are simply bots or AI. They're not real. And we're going to have to figure out how to get rid of that shit, especially when I talk to the dude through email who claims that they're all real. They're not. I didn't even need 2 weeks of demo to figure that out. I just needed 3 shows, and going to deal with him directly here in the next week or so. So while I love Rumble, they did some things that I don't agree with, and I don't know how I can deal with it, but it is what it is. I'm not a gazillionaire that can make all this up and run my own podcast on a platform that I created. But anyway, usually we're on Tuesdays and Friday nights caught up. As I said, I was out of town last night. I would encourage you to watch Badlands Media tonight on the Evolution Power Hour, 10:30. Time. And they'll be live from GART. You'll get to see some of it, and then it'll go away. And but it will intrigue you to maybe follow them and watch their shows. When they're not at GART, GART is called the Great America Restoration Tour, and you're either in live or virtual. And their shows are, or their panels, or their things that they do are all through some sort of paywall, which is okay because everything else besides that is absolutely 100% free on Badlands Media. Also on Resolute Exposure, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or Rumble. The show's caught up. I thank you guys very, very much for giving me the opportunity to get on here and run my mouth. Once again, happy birthday to my wife. And you guys have a good evening. Have a good day.
My heart pumping all day long, getting me to morning when darkness comes. My heart my heart. Ooh. I'll bear it. It takes so long to mend. It's harder to lean on this shell of a man. You found love in the Lord, your family and your friends. Could you please pray for me that I can find the same within? My heart, pumping all day long. When the evening comes, please stay strong. Give me the morning when darkness falls. My heart, I found victory in the Father's love from the day we wed. And those vows to hold true. Nothing's gonna tear me down until the damn end. My heart belongs to you. I'm a heart, this time, put your faith within. I'm a heart, what you love, and there's no breaking it. I'm a heart, this time, put your faith within. I'm a heart, what you love, and there's no breaking it. I'm a heart, this time, put your faith within. I'm a heart, what you love, and there's no breaking it. I'm a heart, this time, put your faith within. I'm a heart, what you love, and there's no breaking it. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like a love, nothing like a love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, the way she holds up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. Yeah. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. And that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out. That's when you find out what you're made of. My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. We were younger when we first laid eyes. I was walking up in heaven's skies. How about you? Did you feel it too? Don't believe in love at first sight. Now you make me wanna change my mind. How about you? Oh, how about you? My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. Trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just gone. I just wanna hold you, just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. Walking a gray line in a world that's black and white. Wondering why things they did not turn out quite right. Please believe me, please don't leave me. Said I'm sorry, didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. Take it. Please believe me. Please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? Please believe me. Please don't leave me now. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. You look better in it anyway. You look better in it anyway. Just take it. Just take it. Watching you go through it. You're living, you're loving, you're laughing, you're playing, you're singing, you're dancing in the dark. You're dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Wind is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my own. Life, it isn't always grand, but when you finally take that stand, you become a man. Why you left, I could not see. I guess people just do what they want. Yeah. Time, it goes faster every day, and my heart, it leads the way, while the future, it fades into a memory. Is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my